Volkswagen Tiguan has established itself as a hugely successful mid-sized SUV. In a market crowded with five-seat rivals such as the Renault Kadjar, Mazda CX-5 and Nissan Qashqai, the German alternative is a vaguely premium offering. The arrival of the all-space version extends its appeal by adding length and a third row of seats. In a nutshell, the all-space gets a 109mm stretch between the front and rear axle lines, and it's longer overall by 215mm for an additional pair of seats. Unlike the 7-seat Renault Grand Scenic, which looks considerably different to its 5-seat cousin, the all-space hides its additional bulk very successfully. Volkswagen says it bridges the gap in the range between the Tiguan and the Touareg. More seats, more luggage, more useful. The 5+2-seat Tiguan all-space debuts at the Geneva Motor Show on 7 March, but Volkswagen has already released a set of images and full technical specifications. The interior also offers individually folding second and third row seats for the maximum configurability. The headlines are that the luggage area has been expanded to 760 liters with the front 2 rows of seats in place, but in full van mode, loaded to the roof, it will swallow up to 1,920 liters. Extra bulk has been successfully disguised. The Tiguan all-space might be bigger, but it doesn't look it. Even the entry-level version rides on 17-inch wheels, and some clever styling tricks have also been employed. So, it has a different bonnet line, side window shapes and a new set of corporate-looking headlamps. You can also specify it in Fox off-road form. The Tiguan all-space off-road package gets you chunky restyled bumpers, and a slightly different ride height. Given that it's available with optional 4-wheel drive, it will at least back up those hunky looks with some genuine ability. A wide variety of engines and tech. It will be offered with 6 TSI and TDI engines, ranging from 150 horsepower to 240 horsepower. The 3 petrol engines are all turbocharged, and will be offered in 150, 180 and 220 horsepower forms, while the 3 turbodiesels develop 150, 190 and 240 horsepower. All are Euro 6 compliant, with the diesels needing AdBlue. Model designations are Trendline, Comfortline and Highline, although even the entry-level model comes fully equipped with air conditioning, leather steering wheel, and LED tail lights. Safety equipment includes automatic post-collision braking system, lane assist, front assist with city emergency braking function, pedestrian monitoring. There's no word yet from Volkswagen on pricing and availability, but expected to go on sale in the UK in the summer of 2017. It's a tale of two halves regarding performance for the Kodiaq. The entry-level 125 horsepower petrol and 115 horsepower diesel don't have the muscle to confidently lug a 7-seat off-roader, passengers and luggage, especially if you plan to head for the mountains. The mid-range 150 horsepower petrol and diesel, meanwhile, are much more fitting, offering reasonable acceleration and, in the case of the diesel, plenty of muscle at low engine speeds. There's another step up to the 180 horsepower petrol and 190 horsepower diesel, which should be unfazed by heavy loads and a full complement of passengers. Numerous petrol and diesel versions to choose from. Slowest is the 125 horsepower 1.4-liter petrol, which takes 10.7 seconds to accelerate to 62 miles per hour, 10.9 seconds in 7-seater form. Figures for the least powerful diesel are yet to be confirmed, but the 150 horsepower model takes between 9.6 and 10.2 seconds for the benchmark acceleration test, depending upon whether 4-wheel drive, an automatic gearbox or 7 seats are fitted. The 150 horsepower petrol offers similar performance, with official figures of 9.4 to 9.9 seconds. The fastest models are the automatically 190 horsepower 4-wheel drive diesel, which takes 8.6 seconds to sprint to 62 miles per hour, 8.8 seconds in 7-seat form, and the 180 horsepower petrol, which also comes with 4-wheel drive and an automatic, and takes between 7.8 and 8.0 seconds. The bluff aerodynamics limit the Kodiaq's top speed, which varies from 117 miles per hour to 130 miles per hour, but the 150 horsepower versions feel more than happy at motorway speeds. The petrol 150 horsepower version needs to be worked a little harder when driving faster, as it offers less muscle at low engine speeds. Diesel engines make the most sense for a large Kodiaq as a result. It's the diesel motors that feel most suitable. The 150 horsepower version offers a reasonable spread of power and works very well with the slick DSG automatic gearbox. Gear changes are practically imperceptible and the car does a very good job of selecting the gear you want without hesitation, making it the transmission to go for, especially as the manual alternatives are a little notchy. We'd steer clear of the least powerful petrol and diesel models, and for most buyers the 150 horsepower diesel is a wiser buy than the similarly powerful petrol. The 190 horsepower diesel costs around £1,000 more than an equivalent 150 horsepower diesel and will suit those who regularly plan to carry a full complement of passengers and luggage. Top-spec versions come with Drive Mode Select, which lets you change how responsive the engine and gearbox are and alter the weight of the steering. The differences are relatively subtle, but let the driver tailor the car to better suit their needs. The Kodiaq may be a big car, but it feels much more nimble than you might expect. The view from the driver's seat is also good, making it an easy vehicle to place on the road, though the absence of any parking sensors on the base model makes it unnecessarily difficult to park compared with rivals. All other models feature at least rear parking sensors. The steering provides a good sense of control, too, offering a little more weight than some rivals, and the Kodiaq takes corners confidently, with the body remaining well controlled, even when taking tighter corners at speed. The optional dynamic chassis control system varies the stiffness of the suspension and offers normal, sport and comfort modes, also changing the weight of the steering and linking to the Drive Mode Select system, which alters throttle and gearbox responsiveness. All modes offer a subtle but noticeable change in suspension and steering characteristics, with comfort offering the cushiest ride and slightly less responsive handling, while sport firms up the suspension for greater control around bends. Steering weight increases in sport mode, too, though each setting offers a reasonable feel without being overly light or excessively heavy. Though Skoda sits below Audi, VW and Seat in the Volkswagen Group hierarchy, the interior of the Kodiaq would not be out of place in one of the group's more upmarket models. The materials used mostly feel very high quality, including the soft, fragrant leather, and most models have plenty of standard kit. The layout of controls is easy to work out in the crisp 8-inch display on top model. Satan of systems is bright and easy to read on the move. On our test route, we did find the Satan of instructions less than clear, however, as we were unsure at times which lane we needed when the road forked. The touchscreen interface of the media system can be distracting compared with rival units which feature a control knob behind the gear lever, though steering wheel controls and a display screen next to the speedometer help to simplify things. Air conditioning controls mimic those in numerous Volkswagens, meaning very simple, easy-to-use rotary switches to set the temperature and fan speed. The Kodiaq may not quite meet Volkswagen nor Audi standards in terms of how premium it feels, but it's much closer than you'd expect considering how low the prices are. The large, well-padded front seats offer very good back support and hold you in place well around corners. The rear row, and optional boot-mounted 6th and 7th seats, are also comfortable, with sufficient room for average-size adults in the back if you slide the middle row forward. Heated front seats, standard on the top half of the range, offer extra comfort on cold days. The suspension is similarly cosseting. The ride is smooth and soaks up bumps well, though the car doesn't wallow around bends. Bigger bumps do make themselves felt, though the car effectively isolates you from the road surface. Little noise makes itself heard in the cabin, with low engine, road and wind volumes, though you can hear air rushing around the windscreen at motorway speeds. Aligned with the DSG automatic gearbox, the 150 horsepower diesel doesn't need to work hard for steady progress, meaning that it's hardly audible half of the time, and less noticeable than in the manual alternative. With super smooth changes from the automatic, This gearbox boosts comfort overall with its imperceptible changes. The 1.4-liter petrol is quiet in isolation, though with less torque it has to be worked harder than the diesel for brisk acceleration, bumping up the volume level. Entry-level S trim is a little Spartan for this class of car, and engine choice is limited to just the 125 horsepower petrol, though air conditioning, 17-inch alloy wheels, a digital radio and keyless go are all included. If you want rear parking sensors, cruise control and automatic headlights and wipers, however, you'll have to step up to say versions. Same models gain 18-inch alloys, tinted rear windows, an 8-inch touchscreen media system and dual-zone climate control. 7 seats add £1,000 to the price, though they are standard on SAL and Edition trims. In addition, SAL versions get 19-inch alloy wheels, a powered tailgate, sat-nav with Wi-Fi, drive mode select, Alcantara upholstery with heated front seats plus bright LED headlights. Range-topping edition Kodiaks boast different 19-inch alloy wheels, leather seats, standard metallic paint and chrome roof rails. Wireless charging for mobile phones and phone box, which boosts signal, call quality and reduces battery drainage, come as standard, as does safety kit including lane assist, high beam assist and blind spot detection. The Kodiak includes door protectors, too, which protect the edges when you get in and out in tight parking spaces, while same models upwards feature an umbrella in the front doors. Also available is an area view camera, which shows obstacles all around the car when parking, and a virtual pedal which automatically opens the boot if you swipe your foot under the rear bumper. Meanwhile, the sat-nav system fitted to top-spec models includes Google Earth and Google Street View functions, and shows fuel prices, parking information and weather details. An off-road mode is also optional on four-wheel drive models with drive mode select, and adjusts the operation of chassis, engine, and brakes when you head off the tarmac. The Kodiak is yet to have its crash test rating confirmed, but it is packed with plenty of safety kit. Considering the amount of standard safety equipment and the fact that the smaller Octavia and larger Superb both scored 5 stars in official crash tests, this latest Skoda is likely to secure a top score. 7 airbags are standard, as are stability control and front assist, which monitors the road in front of the car using radar and works with city emergency brake to stop the car if it senses stationary pedestrians or vehicles ahead. This system only works at up to 21 miles per hour, however, limiting its usefulness in urban driving. There are a number of optional features including adaptive cruise control, which automatically keeps you a safe distance behind the car in front, plus lane assist, blind spot detect and rear traffic alert. These systems keep you in your lane and warn you of vehicles approaching from behind. Another handy feature is trailer assist and maneuver assist. The former takes control of the steering when reversing to guide the car and trailer in the specified direction. The latter can automatically brake the car to avoid bumping into obstacles behind the car. Finally, the optional Crew Protect Assist closes the windows and sunroof and tensions the seat belts automatically if it senses that you're about to crash. When it comes to boot space, the Kodiak offers much more room than similarly sized off-roader rivals. Even with 7 seats in use, there are 270 liters of space to play with, extending to around 700 liters depending whether the car has 7 seats or not, with 5 seats in place, and a huge 2065 liters with the all seats folded. This means that the Kodiak provides twice as much room as the Nissan Strail and even larger Kia Sorento with 7 seats in place, while also outstripping the Land Rover Discovery Sport. As a result, this Skoda is a good candidate if you plan to use all of the seats and need some room for luggage. It's a similar story with 5 seats in place, with the Skoda giving you around 10% more room than competitors. The rear seats slide by a substantial 18 centimeters, meaning that those in the middle row can have limb-like legroom, or you can slide them forward to provide enough room for 2 adults to use the optional third row. The rearmost seats aren't the most spacious, but room in the third row is good for this class of car, and it is possible for average-size adults to get comfortable, though they won't want to spend hours in the back. Access to the front 2 rows is very good, with low door sills and long doors making getting in and out easier than most high-riding off-roaders. Handily, the boot cover also fits below the boot floor when all seats are in place. Adding to practicality, there is a deep storage tray in front of the gear lever, large door bins front and rear and a reasonably large front armrest, which houses a tray with 2 cup holders in it. You can also remove this if you want to keep larger items to hand.